Doom.
Man, you're bumming me out. Get him out of here. Who invited Mr. Doom over? Get that guy out of here.
April 11th, 2011. What is going on? Hey, today we're going to talk about some financial doom. I know you love the doom, so this is some interesting stuff here. So, yeah, apparently now dollar bills are worth about as much as toilet paper. So I wanted to let you know that. I wanted to keep you in the loop. So the next time you're taking a dump, just wipe your ass with a $1 bill, and that's about the same as Charmin. So no, anyways, got some interesting leaks. I'm going to keep this kind of short and sweet today, but there's some interesting stuff going on here for those of you who are paying attention. The White House warns of debt Armageddon. How nice is that? So yeah, the White House, they warned the Republicans that failing to raise the $14.29 trillion debt limit would spark an Armageddon-like consequences for the slowly recovering U.S. economy. So yeah, I don't know about you, but yeah, $14 trillion in U.S. debt already. That is the official number. Really, the unofficial number with all of our obligations, like like Medicare, Social Security, all of those, you know, that's a lot of money out there. So they're saying that our real debt is more like probably $75 trillion. And that's a lot of money. Also, Bill Gross, who runs the world's largest bond fund, he said that treasuries right now have little value because of the U.S. debt burden. And so, yeah, the U.S. has an unrecorded debt of $75 trillion, okay? Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid, all of that stuff. And so the people who traditionally would buy treasury bonds, they're getting out of them. They're getting out of debt. They're getting out of the U.S. debt. They're getting out of the dollar. And as more people are getting out of the dollar, more countries are getting out of the dollar. People are feeling the value just plummeting, okay? And now, you know, we have things like, oh, the government is going to, you know, shut down. We heard about that over the weekend. It was supposed to shut down on Friday. It didn't do it. But they bought themselves another week. Well, what happens worldwide when people hear, oh, the U.S. government's about to shut down because they don't have enough money? Well, what's happening is the dollar value is plummeting, right? This makes sense. You look at this and you go, oh, yeah, the dollar is freaking worthless. Yeah. So here is the last 10 years of the dollar, okay? I mean, look at this thing. Here's the dollar. It was doing good 2001, 2002, right? And we can even scale it back even further if we want. You know, we can say, hey, let's go back 30 years. You know, we can see here that obviously the dollar, and now it's almost to its lowest point ever, okay? It's getting near the end of the dollar. And in a lot of ways, I think that they want this to happen because then they can bring in a world currency and they can sort of make us all pawns in their game. And so it's really interesting to sort of watch how this thing is going and watch how the dollar's tanking, seeing things are going. So one thing's, you know, there are some things that you can do to sort of hedge your bet against the dollar as it's tanking. And I'll go ahead and put this article here for you guys underneath, some different fighters you can do against the dollar. But one thing that I've been doing, you know, for a long time has been, you know, purchasing silver, purchasing gold. You know, I have a stack of silver on my desk at all times. You know, it's just awesome to have silver just sitting here, and because this is real value, you know, and it's awesome when you buy this stuff when I bought a lot of this at $4 an ounce, and now it's $40-something an ounce. It's really cool to sort of watch this grow. This is real wealth, you know what I'm saying? So, and here are some statistics of silver over the past, you know, 34 years. Look at this. It had that one blip, you know, whenever the Hunt brothers was manipulating silver back in the early 80s. But now look at it, you know, right here, $4 or $5 an ounce for the longest time, and then it started rising in about 2004, and then it went back down a little bit in 2008, and then look, it's just been rising. It was all the way down like $9 in 2008, and now, you know, today it's closed at $40.60. And so, you know, obviously, you know, silver is a very, very valuable thing. It's something that you want to, you know, you want to have some in your hands. You want to trade dollars for that. And it's like, I stay out of dollars. I get out of dollars as soon as I can. I think it just makes sense to get out of the dollars and, you know, get into silver, get into things that have intrinsic value, buying, you know, silver mining stocks and buying gold mining stocks. You know, those are things that are going to increase over value. But again, I'm not a financial planner. You know, a lot of this stuff is just baffling to see how they've been able to create this corruption for so long with the dollar, because the dollar really has no value, only what we say it does. There's nothing backing it up except, you know, how it ranks against other currencies. And so, you know, the Federal Reserve Bank and the central bankers, they got a hold on this thing. You know, this is the biggest scam in the history of man, I believe, is the fact that we're able to create dollars out of thin air with fractional reserve banking. If you're not familiar with fractional reserve banking, do some research on it, because it's very interesting to sort of keep your, you know, to figure out what actually goes on, where you can actually, you know, the Federal Reserve Bank can loan out, let's say, $1 million to a bank, and then a bank can actually loan that $1 million out, you know, almost 10 times. So that $1 million essentially becomes $10 million, and 9 of those $1 million was just created out of thin air. You just literally created out of nothing. And it's unbelievable. I wish I could do that. Why am I not able just to create it out of thin air? Now, also, one thing you want to think about when you're thinking about investing in silver is that actually you want to get physical silver. You don't want to get any of the not the mining stocks, but you know, mining stocks are good. You don't want to get into the ETFs as much. You know, SLV is one of the silver trust funds, and you don't really want to necessarily get involved with these. They do have a ton, in theory, they have a ton of value. They've been growing up, whatever. However, from what I understand, the amount of silver that these ETFs have in their possession is about 100 to 1. Okay, so say for example they have 1 million ounces of silver. Well, they're trading about 100 million ounces of silver. So again, it's fractional reserve. They're actually trading stuff that they don't have, and so a lot of times you're not actually able to even get that silver. So you got to really be careful on this. You know, I've been buying lots of silver over the years just because it's like I loved it. I thought silver was really cool. Hell, it was $4 or $5 an ounce for a long time. I'm thinking, hell, why not buy a lot of it? You know, store it up, you know, put it in my safe deposit box at the bank and just sort of play around with it. And it's fun. And now watching it, it's had over 1,000% return on investment over these past, you know, hell, even over the past, you know, 2 years. It's been, when it was $8 a share, you know, it's like 500% return on investment right there. So, you know, that's not too bad. It's been a pretty good thing. I really believe, I've been reading and watching a lot of other stuff. I think the price of this is going to just continue to rise because silver has such a high industrial value. Every electronic needs silver for the most part. It's one of the highest conductors of electricity out there. And it's becoming very rare because it's not being recycled. Most of the silver ever produced is actually in your junk, not even in the junkyard, but in the landfills, you know? So, you know, the dollar's crashing. It's crazy to watch. You know, the prices of everything is cruising up. You know, you're watching gas. Gas is getting $4 or $5 a gallon. You know, the prices of all these foods and milk and everything is increasing in price. The quantities they're selling are becoming smaller. You know, and here's an example of this from CNBC. Food inflation is kept hidden in smaller bags. There was this one really great article that I wanted to find that I'm not able to find it. But yeah, so stuff's actually going down, you know, like stuff that was 16 ounces is now 13 ounces. Stuff that was like 64 ounces is now 48 ounces. Same price, and actually increasing the price in most cases and giving you much, much less. And so, you know, these are some of the things that you need to be made aware of. You know, we're seeing this, we're feeling the crunch, and our salaries aren't increasing. The amount of Federal Reserve notes that we receive for our wages is not increasing, but the prices of everything are increasing. You know, soon the interest rates are going to increase, and we're going to see some serious doom. But one thing that's great about America, or as I like to call it, America, one great thing about America is that, you know what, we spend shitloads of money on our military. Look at this. The USA spends way more money than any other country does on their military, right? $680 billion on our military, and we have 300 million people. The public, you know, the Chinese People's Republic of China spends about $115 billion, right? And they have like 1 billion plus people, right? So if we had as many people as China, we'd be spending about $2 trillion a year on the military. It's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, we have people who are freaking out, people losing their homes, people, buying the worst type of food because when you're poor, what kind of food you eat? The cheapest shit you can find, right? And so we're spending more money on military than we probably add all these up combined. We're probably spending more than every other country combined, right? And the dollar is plummeting. And so you know what? We need a shutdown of the government. We need to shut down our military armament industrial complex. It's ridiculous. And it's not even a joke. It's not even funny to me, right? A lot of times I like to keep this, lively and laughy and, taking doom in a way and, making it positive. And I do feel that because I love people. I think we're all truly connected. We all have DNA that goes back to this one tribe in Africa. We're all connected. We're all part of the same family who came out of Africa because they knew how to hunt. And they had some technology they built so they could hunt more effectively. So it doesn't matter if you're black, you're Chinese, you're Indian, you're Russian, you're Brazilian, whatever. We all came from the same people. You can call it Adam, you can call it whatever. I like to say, you know what? We're all part of the same family. And why are we shooting and killing everybody? Because we need this planet, right? Why do we have to blow everything up? And it doesn't make sense to me. That's a whole other topic. But, the dollar is crashing. It's so evident. It's not a secret that the dollar is being devalued. We're printing more and more dollars through this quantitative easing process that we've had. The amount of dollars that we have in circulation is just increasing exponentially. And when we see stuff like this happen, then the value of the dollar is tanking, okay? Because it takes more dollars to buy the same stuff. And so, when they're talking about a potential, dollar Armageddon, debt Armageddon, we're close to this. So you guys need to prepare as best you can. Get yourself some cheap dehydrated food. Get yourself some water filters. Get yourself some stuff because, especially if you're in an urban area, when shit hits the fan, folks, it's going to be some crazy barbaric shit going down. And this is not even, I'm not even trying to fearmonger you guys. I'm just saying this is logical. When the shit hits the fan and the dollar collapses, the government shuts down, martial law happens, all this crazy stuff happens, and then we have, by the way, we have earthquakes and radiation all over the place. Oh, that's something completely different aside from this. So you guys need to prepare in some way. You know what? I have nothing but love for you guys. I truly live in my heart, and the reason I'm doing this is I want to make you guys aware. There are so many sleeping people out there that it's just amazing. It just amazes me how many people think that the stuff that we share, that we're the kooks, we're the loony bins people, right? But we're the ones who see through the bullshit. We're the ones who see through the media. And, God bless you guys. I do. I send you lots of love. And, we'll catch you next time on the next episode of Daily Doom.